Are we up? Are we up? I don't see the usual time check. Are we alive? Okay. I can't tell at this end. I can never tell. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's soup time today. I'm sorry. There was an option, different jobs were available. I just did the triage, which ones have to be done. I got to get this paper done today because Chiharu-san, our printer who works over in Nagano, her house in Nagano, she's ready to do another batch of great waves and she wants the paper. So we have enough paper here this morning for 60 great wave prints, which means, because I have to do them one at a time, so 60 sheets of paper, both sides, 120 sheets. I don't think we're going to get to a show and tell today, whatever. We'll just try and get through this. What's our temperature here? It's not so bad today. It's kind of nice. Kind of nice, I see, whatever. Was it 12 plus degrees? Actually, that was probably heated by my coffee cup. I don't know. I was debating today on which job to do. I did one job last night, and this is this morning. I could have done this job last night and job B this morning. So what I did, I switched around, and last night I did this job. Those of you who have seen this before, if I can find it in the camera here, where are we? Is this it? Well, we are. You remember this? We've seen this before. That was my job last night, and they're not quite ready because I did it about 12 hours ago. I can't open it yet. We're looking at 24 hours for that glue to dry. And I'm also surprised if somebody can update me this. This is 2-part epoxy. It's the 2-part equal mix, and it's cold in here today. It's 12 degrees. Last night it was even colder. Am I okay to use this in a cold environment? I was thinking it was okay because the stuff supposedly generates its own heat, but it never did. Even in the cup, we've talked about this before. When I mixed it in the cup, it didn't get warm. I put it on the wood, it didn't get warm. And I thought this stuff was supposed to generate tons of heat to the point where you have to watch out. You have to be careful. But it's not. So I don't know, maybe this is a different kind of epoxy that I shouldn't be using in cold weather. Anybody knows anything about that, please let me know. When we're working with, polyvinyl glue or hide glue or something, you've got to keep it warm so that the stuff is effective. Someone says, I think epoxy is sensitive to cold temperatures. Am I in trouble? I don't know. Most things that cure need to be at a warmer temperature to cure, and then it will generate some heat. But this stuff is exothermic, I thought. It gave off heat as the chemical reaction happened. But absolutely nothing. It was just whatever, it just stays at room temperature. The containers give a temperature range to store it, and they say from 5 to 35. It says don't store outside that temperature range. So presumably it means also use it during that temperature range. So 5, we didn't get down to 5 here yesterday. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Temperatures lower than 50 F. I don't know the numbers. We're talking C here, so I'm sorry. There will be extended curing time. Once it goes below the freezing point, standard epoxy won't fully cure at all. Well, we didn't get to 0. 0 is freezing here. The reaction may need heat to get started. Well, I did it yesterday. Here it was about 10 degrees, 10 C. So it was about 50. So we're borderline, are we? So I should heat the cans, warm up the cans before I do this. It's gone hard. It's gone hard. I can't, it's not like a rock. So the thing has worked, but it didn't give off any heat while it was doing it. And last time we did this, people were warning me, don't turn your back on this or it could catch fire or something like this, because so much heat was given off the cup full of glue. Maybe I should just turn on the heat. There isn't any heat here. It's a 3-meter tall building with a concrete roof open to the outside wall. This is a breeze block open to the outside world. The other side is same thing, breeze block. There's no way I could heat this place. Absolutely no way. Put a small heater near the boards. Yeah, we could find a space heater or something. Anyway, it's done now. It's done now. What we're doing with this, I'm making a batch of boards. I'll be doing this tomorrow morning. It won't be on stream. And we've got, I don't know, we've got a lot of stuff like this. We have wood that was previously, we did some of this online, wood that was carved. I took it on my bandsaw, sliced it in half. Yesterday took a light plane to the back to make it flat, and we will bond these back to back, and then after bonding I will plane them again to give a flat front surface. Anyway, that's not today's job. I had better get going because today's job is going to be time sensitive. The brush, I think, is okay. Remember we had an episode a few weeks ago where the brush was rock hard. The previous person who'd used it hadn't washed it out. I mentioned this to them and now it seems okay. They're washing it well. So soften it up a little bit. Paper is out. Well, there is nobody here today for printing. Saturday, nobody's name on the boards today. Paper's out, would it make any difference? Well, it does. 0 compared to 12 degrees. It does. It defrosts. When it's in the freezer, it is impossible to use, but it does defrost even at 10 degrees. Okay, here's the paper. We have the paper, as I said, it was 30 sheets this size. I've cut it in half, so I now have 30 and 30. The paper is under a warm towel here. And this also is being warmed up for the past hour. We're working on a hot carpet. This is a hot carpet, and it's been turned on since 6 o'clock this morning. So this stuff here is all nicely warmed up. And here you have a great wave print. What's today? Today is January the 11th. By January the 20th, somewhere around there, this will be a stack of 60 great waves. This is Iwano paper. This is paper by Ichibe Iwano. Murata-san is doing the paper for our new series this year. She's just getting off the ground, of course. We still depend on Iwano-san for most of our publications. Hopefully we'll be seeing Iwano paper here for years to come, hopefully. You're linking to the 2025 series, but it's turned off. It's sold out. I have no idea when we'll be able to turn it back on again. We stopped at 350 subscribers. It will be available in the future. I don't know when. So for now, it's dreams of a future. Is this your great wave? I don't know, and I am not going to start checking the list right now. Absolutely. Okay, let's roll. Let's roll. If you want to count, there's 30 plus 30 sheets. this should be closer. You know, I'm doing it a bit clumsy today. This painting stack, the brushing stack, and the prep stack should be side by side. Should be right here. Boom, boom. Shouldn't have to move to do this, but something's in the way. How many waves are being printed per year? I don't know. We're in stress for printer time, you know. If you go back a year, a little bit over a year, if you go back a year and a half or 2 years, we were doing 60 copies every 2 months, 6 weeks to 8 weeks, around there. She did a batch, she or Yamamoto-kun did a batch of 60 sheets every 2 months. We didn't hit that target last year. It stretched to, again, I don't know the actual facts, this is anecdotal, it stretched to something closer than to 3 months. So we had 60 copies about every 3 months, a little bit under, a little bit over. So that's 4 groups a year, which is 240 sheets a year. So it's not very much, I'm sorry. And whether we'll be able to hit that target this year, I don't know. The priority for our printers is subscription prints. And we lost one printer a year and a half ago, Suga-san, and we're losing another printer now this year. Another one of our printers, another lady, is having a baby. So that's that. So if you're in position number 1,000 or something on the list, whatever. I can't help you, I'm sorry. Demand is what it is, and there's no way I'm going to fix it by raising the price. We just got to wait it out. Oh, dropped it, Nanda. I've spent the last month or so myself working now pretty much exclusively with Murata-san's paper. So now coming back to Iwano paper, which I've been using for 30 years, I'm now going to be getting a feel for how these two papers are different. And this is definitely harder. I don't know for the word hard. Murata-san's paper was more gentle. It's funny, more ladylike? I don't know. It was more gentle, her paper. There's lots of factors. One of the factors is the rice. Another factor is her rocking style. The materials are different. This is kozo from Ibaragi Prefecture. Murata-san's paper is kozo from Oguni in Niigata. But it's not silly at the moment to compare the two papers and to say one is more feminine, or I'm going to get criticized for being whatever. Her paper is softer, physically softer. It's cleaner. This, I think, will be stronger. We're going to have to do some of these tests, take the little twists and tie them and see how many kilograms of force it takes to break them, stuff like this. We'll do a little bit of testing. But there's so many variables. The different fibers, the age of the fibers, the alkali level when it was being cooked. There's, going to be a dozen factors here. And for me to isolate one of them and say, that's why they are different. And fact, when you consider how many differences there are in the materials in production, the surprise is that the papers are so similar. John's, is it the density of fiber? I just don't know. I'm sorry. I really, really, really don't know. My guess, now that I'm thinking about that question that John just asked, the density of fibers, my guess is that's not going to be a factor. Over in Murat-san's workshop, she's got a little microscope thing where you can see, you know, the network of fibers. And it's going to be interesting as we get going on this to compare. We could look microscopically. My stereoscope downstairs doesn't go close enough. But if we get a microscope that goes close enough, you could do that. We could do, you know, fiber count per square centimeter or whatever. From what my anecdotal evidence is so far, from having looked at it through that scope, I think it's very, very, very close. It's the same kind of mix. Someone's asking about the water. What am I doing? Is it just water? A few different questions. The mods are trying to answer this. Dripped. It's two in a row. I dripped from the heel. Maybe you saw it. Dripping from the heel there. If you can see it, this particular sheet is quite different. Look at this. Do you see the lines? Look at this. Hang on. Grab another one. All the paper has what would you call the chain lines. Remember, the paper is rocked this way on the bamboo screen. The bamboo screen is not flat. It's made of bamboo criss and crossed. And the cross lines, the lines that go away from the paper maker are thicker bamboo, and the mesh lies across it. And this one, whoa, I guess it's thin. It feels a bit thin, and it's so thin, this one. Look at this, there's the lines. Ooh. And those lines represent thin spots. The bamboo bumps up, and the screen is across it. So where it bumps up, that's the part where not as much fiber can lay down. So those are thin places on the paper. This one is so thin, it's borderline defective. What I'm going to do is I'm going to mark it on the back. And then when I'm sending the paper to the Chiharu-san for printing, there will be two of these. There's this one, and there will be the matching half. I'll mark them for her so she won't be too surprised by it. And maybe I'll move a little bit faster. Yeah, all this hosho, Echizen hosho paper has these lines with one qualification. It's part of the making process. It's not a defect. And if you go back and look at illustrations of Edo era prints, if you were going to hold up an Edo era print and look at it in the light, and I did this in the video we made last summer, you hold up the paper and you can see those lines in. And normally in the printed color you can't see it because the color gets pressed right through the whole paper, and those lines are not visible in the printed color area. But what does happen is if you get a print like an old sharaku or an old utamaro that has a mica background, that tends to crack and split along those lines. So if you went to a website that has lots of illustrations of sharaku prints, should I try and find one here? Let's see. I can maybe find one quickly. Just give me 1 second here. We're looking okay for time, so I think we're all right. Just give me a sec. Try and find an example for you. Here we are. Got one right here. Bingo. Yes. Yes. Copy link. Okay, this is a print in some museum. It's in the Art Institute of Chicago. There's an old sharaku print, and you can see the vertical lines that are part of the structure of the paper. You don't see them in the printed parts. You see them in the background part where the mica has fractured and broken off. There's another aspect to today's work too. You know, the paper that we're doing here. What is it? There's, as I said, there's 30 sheets cut in half. So I'm almost finished the first half of them. So 30 sheets of this. The full deck of paper then, 30 sheets of Iwano Hosho paper. We're looking at about, it's hard to give it in dollars because we're yen, whatever, 3,000 yen, 20 bucks, I guess, per sheet. And we've got 30 sheets. So the little stack of paper we're going to see here today is $600+ worth of paper. And Hontoni, in reality, that's, compared to the value of the finished prints, that's so low, so low. This is part of the discussions we've been having with the paper makers for years now. They're complaining they can't get staff, complaining they can't do this, can't do that. And we've been pushing them for years to raise the price. Yeah, the reason for that print I showed you just now, the museum link, why we can see those vertical marks is, yeah, because the paper is literally thinner along those lines. So each time it gets handled, and we're looking at a print there that's more than 200 years old, and each time it gets handled, if it's going to flex a little bit or something, it's going to flex along those lines more, especially as it gets older. So that's where the mica powder tends to flake off. We don't see the difference in the printed areas. Remember, they weren't making prints to live 200 years. They were making a print that would look nice in the shop so someone would buy it. That's it. End of the game. Once a customer buys it, that's it. They're done. Is there a risk the Baron rips it off? I'm not sure what you mean, rips it off. I'm still dripping. I'm so careless here. No. The Baron would never know. No, Baron is pressing straight down onto the block. There's no. Now, we don't see or feel these lines when we are printing. I see it now because I can, holding the paper up. But it's irrelevant to the printing process. Okay, here's sheet number 30 of the first half. For those of you who've been counting, here's your, if I did count correctly when I cut the paper this morning, this is now sheet number 30. If. We're cruising, are we? 828. And we're 1/4 of the way through. I don't think we're cruising at all. We're 1/4 of the way through brushing and we still have to hang it. Tom counted 29. Either you're off or I'm off. It could be me. When I counted them this morning, I maybe only got 29 sheets. It's possible. We'll find out when we hang them up. This is your second chance to count. That was one of the second half. This is number 2. You can try it again. I had a list of things I was thinking about mentioning today, and I forgot it. It's downstairs somewhere. So I need a list to remind me to remember to bring my list. I'm trying. Someone's asking, try to remember without the list. Don't depend on your crutch. I'm trying to. I can't. think of what it is. There was nothing dramatic or specifically interesting, just nothing dramatic. No, the brush was nice. I said when we started up, the brush was perfect. I didn't read the riot act last time. Just I asked them, please make sure you wash it carefully. And this time it was fine. Maybe they probably washed it too much. I don't know. No idea. It seems okay. There's trouble coming down the road. You know, this is the only brush we've got at this size. There are no more. We can't buy any more. We have tried. There are no more brushes available at that size. There's probably some crap from China available. I don't know, useless for us. We are going to have to make our own brushes. And I shouldn't be waiting until this one dies. We should be making brushes, learning how to make them while this one is still here and in a reasonably good condition to compare with. It's already actually starting to get a little bit old. We've got tons of brush hair. We've got tons of goat hair downstairs. There's a hair in the paper. Can you see it? There's a hair. It's inside the paper. It's not on top. I can't pick it up. It's inside the paper. Looks like hair, human hair. Iguana DNA. Or the neighbor's cat or something. It looks like it'll be in the trim at the end. If it was in the middle, we got a problem. It looked far enough at the outside. It's in the trim zone, I think. Are the larger brushes the paper maker uses? Paper makers, the brushes they use, they're not the same as this at all. The paper makers, the only brushing they use is when they put the paper on the board to dry. And they're not using soft goat hair brushes like this. They need a stiffer brush. I think it's horse hair. Don't quote me. I don't know. Their brushes are different. A brush that was too soft and floppy is not going to spread that paper around on the drying board. These need to be a bit stiffer. A brush like this, a goat hair brush, when it's normally washed out and not full of glue, a goat hair brush is soft. It's super, super soft. Ooh. And there's no way that would be really useful for spreading the paper out on the drying boards. So I don't think they use goat hair. Here at the printer's end, the pigment, the brushes used for moistening the paper are very, 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 very soft. They don't get glue or pigment in them at all. They just dry out naturally. This one never gets soft again because it's got so much glue stuck all the way through it. But the brush I just showed you, it's a water brush for moistening paper. And it doesn't touch glue and it doesn't touch pigment. I know nothing about the goats. I'm sorry. I know it's just goat hair, that's all. Whether goat hair is a euphemism for something else, maybe. I don't know. I guess it's goat. I don't know. Yagi in Japanese. I have no background info on that at all. I'm sorry. To me, I wouldn't have thought of a goat as having hair that long. And the hair is actually quite a bit longer, of course. How's our time? I guess we're okay. I think we're okay. Might be just about right. As I said, I haven't prepared a specific show and tell. If you're waiting for a socks off show and tell today, please don't. I don't have anything specifically prepared. If it turns out we do get through this and we've hung it all up and we've got some minutes left, I'll just grab something in the room there. It's a room full of blocks and samples and all kinds of stuff, so we can find something in the room to look at. But there's no dramatic show and tell today. Did I take video of cutting the slot in the... Oh, that's something that was on my list to talk about. So, Sadako and I got lunch that day. We went upstairs and we cut the slots in 66 more boxes. Came out really, really nice. And we're doing the last one or two. And she says, "Oh, did you set up the camera? Are we taking video?" And I'm like, now you remind me. So no, I didn't. I'm sorry. We really just dug into the work. We cut slots like crazy, but I did not remember to take video. I'm sorry. It's this table saw thing, you know, concentrating on the saw. I'm so terrified of that machine. You know, I really hate it. So that's my excuse. I'm sorry, but it is. It would have been nice to show it. Did I remember to open the shutters? I'm not sure what you're asking there. Did I remember to open the shutters? The shop shutter downstairs? It's open. The slots are on our cases, and it's a slot where a stand goes inside. I don't have one here to show you, I'm sorry. The shutter downstairs is open. Is the refrigerator running? There's a fridge right here, but it's silent. What you're hearing, if there's a zzz, there's outside machinery, heaters, air conditioners on top of nearby buildings. There is very much a Tokyo rooftop soundscape. When you go up onto the roof of our building, or even here on the third floor, up from street level, is a constant sound. On top of every building, there's air conditioners, there's, you name it, heaters. There's a constant drone of sound. I'm happy this is going well today. It seems good. It seems like we're getting a good smooth coat. I was a bit worried because of the temperature, but it seems all right. The slot cutting, I know there is going to be lots more opportunities, so I'm not trying to be devious here. I will be cutting many more slots. We had received a shipment of 100 boxes from the box maker. We have orders for over 250 boxes from customers, people who want cases along with this year's series or the back numbers that they're ordering. So we have many, many, many more boxes coming. The next group won't be here in late January. It'll be in early February. The next group will be here. So I will be doing more box cutting when they arrive in early February, before I go to Canada, hopefully. So there's lots more box cutting coming, and I'll get to it. I will show you a video. You know, I'm not avoiding it, just simply too much to do. I would love to have the box making completely outsourced, just to find a reputable place, order it, forget it. But we haven't been able to find such a person. And we have searched literally the country, literally across the country. Anybody making Polonia boxes, we have talked to them in the past half a year. The problem with the slots is it needs a dado head at an angle. And the standard Japanese table saws, this is not a standard setup. It's an interesting thing in Japan. We may have talked about this before at some point. To buy a table saw here in Japan, you have two choices. Over in Ome, I have two table saws. I have one I made myself, a big, heavy, flatbed table saw. The arbor doesn't tilt. But we have also, to cut these slots at an angle, I bought a consumer-grade table saw. And here in Japan, to buy a table saw, there's only two options. There's the $300, $400 Chinese junk table saw. And then there is the massive professional $100,000 or $90,000 massive, furniture construction grade table saw. There are no consumer level tools like that in Japan. If you're in America or whatever, I don't know much about Europe, but Canada, America, people have got a garage, they got a table saw, they got a basement, they make stuff. Normal people have tools like a table saw, jigsaw, stuff like this. Lots of consumers. Maybe not someone who lives in an apartment building, but any typical homeowner, I think, unless I'm out of date, in my era, living in North America, it was not rare for people to have their own, workshops set up at home. A table saw, a radial arm saw, stuff like this. Here in Japan, that doesn't exist. There's no room for it. You can't have it in your house. Neighbors would complain. Nobody knows how to use it anyway. They don't do their own house fixing. So here in Japan, I can't go to the home center and look over the selection of DeWalt or Rockwell table saws and pick one and bring it home for $300, $500, $800. They don't exist. I don't know over there what's the current situation. I really don't know. But my guess is you will find pretty much a full range. Chinese junk must be there as well. Total professional cabinetry making setup must be there. But I believe there's a sensible, or there was, a sensible consumer grade level. But here they don't exist. So this is our problem. And that's why originally when I first came here, I had to make toys for my kids. I built my own table saw, but it doesn't have features. It's made of a huge box of thick plywood with bearings and an arbor and an electric motor I scavenged. And an arbor I had made for me. I didn't make the arbor myself. I have no machine shop. I bought bearings, had an arbor made, and put the thing together. But it doesn't have features. You know, I can't tilt it. And the guy who makes my boxes, the same thing. He's got a table saw there. He's a professional carpenter, box maker, but his table saw doesn't have a tilting arbor. Here we are. This is the last sheet. This must be number 60, if somebody was counting. We are now officially halfway through the brushing. It is now flip time. And we're halfway through our time. There's no way we're going to get to a show and tell today. I knew I was okay by not preparing one. And I don't think I've been wasting time talking. I think we've been keeping up to it. Okay, flip time. Now you counted 31. Well, there you are. One day we're going to drop that thing. One day. Okay, now we don't have to wipe or wash the board because the paper is going to go in exactly the same place. And here we go. We're now going to do the back side. This is sheet number 1. They're in the same order. We flipped the stack. They are now facing down. They're face down. Bit too much there. Dave, be careful. I left too much liquid on that one. And another drip. Dave. Don't watch, don't look. Is it possible to add a watermark in Murata-san's paper? Yes, we won't be doing that. No. For the normal usage of the paper, not at all. When they make a sheet of paper, we're going to use it to make prints. This piece of paper is a good example. The original sheet of paper was yay big. If there had been a watermark in one corner, that's possible. What happens, I cut the paper, I make 2 woodblock prints with it. One print has the watermark, one doesn't. In the case of Murata-san's paper that we're getting recently, each sheet that she makes is chopped into 8 pieces for woodblock prints. So it makes no sense to try and create a watermark in the sheet of raw paper, because you have no idea when she makes the paper what kind of prints and what size they are going to be. So if the paper was an object in itself, an art object, and if she was making some paper to sell as one by one, this is my art, then yes, having a watermark or a seal on it would make sense. Someone's asking about those slots. The problem is that we've got a box and the slot is in the middle, tilted. So by the time if you try and, we tried to do this with a router table with a jig and then the box tilted on top. But the blade has to come so high up to get into there, it becomes unstable. Believe me, we've been round and round this problem quite a lot. Didn't do that one yet. I mean, we're not dummies here. We've been working on this for a decade or more, actually. Another alternate way we've cut these slots is by using a small handheld router, like a Dremel, but a bit more body. And then we get the box, and we put a jig on top of the box, clamp it, and the router slides along that thing. But the small routers like that don't have enough horsepower. You've got to make one pass, deeper, another pass, deeper, another pass, and deeper, another pass. And by the time you've done that, whatever, you've wasted the entire day. We've been struggling with this for a long time. The solution is easy, a good modern table saw with a dado head. We're talking about a 20-degree angle. So it's not dramatically angled. It's not like we're cutting down to this far. Somebody's mentioning Japanese tools, Hitachi or Mitaka or whatever the brand names are. I'm sure those companies make tools like this for export. There'll be a different electricity. Still getting a bit too much liquid here at the front. Be careful. They will stick together. If I'm not careful with too much liquid, they will stick. Yeah, those routers here, they're called trimmers. Trima, a small router. It's for putting bevels on corners and stuff like that. They're not called routers, they're called trimmers here, trima. I remembered the bath at the pool. We have a problem with the bath at the pool. A big, big, big problem. I haven't given you much pool news recently because it just sort of goes on day by day by day. Nothing much changes. We've got the regular core of people. A couple of the regulars seem to have stopped coming and we're actually down. There's not so many people in the pool each morning. partly because it's cold, whatever. Every now and then a new person comes in, they don't last long. A few days later they're gone, or we might even just see them just once sometimes. Japanese fitness center, there's no New Year's resolutions here. It's not part of the culture. Not in the way it is in the West. There's not even really an expression for New Year's resolution, I think. I think if you're in a fitness center or something over in Canada or America, January, they're packed with people, January 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and then bit by bit they drop off. I guess I don't know the culture. But here in Japan, it opened up again on the 6th, so I went on January 6th, and it's the regular crowd. I didn't even see any new faces at all. So that's not a problem at our fitness center. But what is a problem, and it's been building for the past few months, it's the bathtub. We may have talked about this before. Our building opens at 7 o'clock for the early morning service. It's called morning service. It's like a coffee shop. And the fitness center itself opens at 10, but they offer a special ticket where you can go at 7 o'clock. And my ticket is a morning service ticket. It's 7 to 10. And it's restricted. I can use the fitness machines if I want. I can use the changing rooms, the lounge, and I can use the pool. And of course, the shower, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But we can't use the sauna. There's a sauna in the building, but it doesn't get, when I'm there in the morning, they are doing the cleaning on the sauna. And it must take hours or whatever to build up. So my ticket doesn't allow me to use the sauna. That's okay. Anyway, long story short, the problem is the hot bath in the change room is not open at 7 o'clock. It still has the cover. They do the cleaning the night before, they set the temperature, whatever, and they have a black plastic cover that slides across it. And the problem with this has become what time to open it. And currently now, Dave is in trouble because the bathtub opening time has recently been pushed back to 7:45. Now I go in there at 7. Bing, when the bell rings, me and my friends there, we go in, I hit the pool by 7:02 or 7:03. I do my 24.5-minute swim, 1 kilometer. It's now pretty stable, 24.5 minutes. 24 minutes and 30 seconds is my typical time. So by 7:30, I am now hitting the showers. Dave gets in the showers, no problem, washes his hair, does the eye drops, blah, 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 blah. And what I would then like to do is turn around and soak in the bath for 5 minutes. It's now 7:40. The new rule is the bath is not allowed to be open until 7:45. So the other day, a few weeks ago when this started to happen, like it's not open yet, and I'm 7:40, Dave's got to get going. There's a stream starting at 8 right here. It's 7:40, I'm naked, I'm still in the showers, I want to sit in the bath for 5 minutes. And the two guys who are the current attendants there, they're from West Africa, the current group. Maybe last time I told you a similar story, they were boys from Vietnam. It changes all the time. Everybody has short visas. The current guys, there's 3 of them in the building, they're from West Africa. They speak a bit of English. I asked him, Nigeria? He said, no. He got upset. I'm not Nigeria. I'm from West Africa. Okay, I do whatever. So they're definitely not Nigerian. They are from West Africa. What are the countries there? Guinea. I don't remember. There's 3 or 4 countries there just west of Nigeria. Anyway, the deal was, if we roll back a month or so, I'm like, I got to get going. Can we open? So he says, sure, we'll open it up. So they opened it up at 8:40. Dave gets in. He's happy. Next day, the guy says, he's speaking sort of broken Japanese. Kyaku-san mo, the boss upstairs got angry. Don't open that thing till 8:45. And I don't know why. So I've told him, look, ask them, 8:40, it's okay, no big difference. If you open it at 8:40, some of those of us who have to get to work at 8 o'clock, we can use this. 8:45, I can't go in the bath at 8:45, blah, 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 blah. So he says, okay. No. So the last couple of weeks, it's 7:45. They will not bend the rules. Now the next job for me then is I've got to maybe go and knock on the door of the head office or something and ask them and explain, The boys are not willing to get in trouble with their boss, and I get it. I shouldn't ask them to do that. But what twist has happened is this past week, I missed on Thursday because I was in Ome, but Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday I was there. And what the boys have done, they're decent people. What the boys have done is the black plastic cover is there. They have left one corner flipped open. On Monday I was there, getting in there, and I saw this and I thought, I wonder, is that what they've done? Have they left a corner open so that me and a couple of other of the early guys can use that? I thought, wait a minute, Dave, if I slide in there with the cover still on, am I making big trouble? Am I going to get in trouble? Is it trouble for the boys? What's going on? And I was indecisive. I didn't know what to do. I'm showering, looking at this thing, thinking, what should I do? And another dude next to me, similar situation, he tried it. He got in there, just inside the bath, one corner next to where the black cover is. He got in there, like 15 seconds, 20 seconds, got out and ran away. And then just after that, the African guys came in, looks all good, and they went out. And I'm sitting there, do I dare try this? And all through this week, Tuesday, Wednesday, and again on Friday, and Friday, I tried it. Waited till the room was quiet, finished washing my hair, slipped into there. But I don't know, is this a don't ask, don't tell policy? I have no idea. If all of us start doing this, word is going to get out, and maybe the boys will be in trouble. There's no sense in me doing something that's going to cause those boys to get in trouble. But I want a bath. It's my only chance. I have no bath at home here in this building. Oh, again, too much, Dave. I have a shower right here in the corner. Just behind me right there, there's a shower. That room. That's the shower. But there's no bath, no place to sit down and lie down. Also, it's no fun showering when the room is 10 degrees. Actually, 9 o'clock. I'm now tight for time. My God, we started so well. Have I screwed up here? I'm a member, petition the leadership. I know what has happened here, the backstory for this. What they must do, they must clean the bath at night. They don't drain it. It's the same water. They drain it maybe once a week or so. So it's the same water, it's filtered, and maybe they lower the temperature. They put the cover on at night, and they don't keep it at 45 degrees. Common sense. We're trying to save energy here. So they turn it down. And at some point, maybe this happens at 7 o'clock, when the staff is getting ready, arriving just before opening at 7 o'clock. Maybe they come at 10 minutes before 7. Somebody must fire up the heater and set the heater on the bath. And while we are in the swimming or fitness, whatever, over the time 7 to 7:10, 7:20, the bath temperature is coming up. And what's happened is, when it was opening too early at 7:30 or 7:40, it wasn't at a good temperature, and there were lots of people complaining, Nurui, Nurui, this bath is cool, it's no good. So what the management has done to stop those complaints, did I do this sheet? No. To stop those complaints, they've told the boys, don't open it until 7:45. And that will reduce the number of complaints from people saying it's not hot enough. So I get what's going on here. I get it, I get it, I get it. No big deal. No, you know. So I don't know, for the current time, I think I'm just going to have to suck it up. It's too bad, you know. What I can do, of course, is my problem is Mondays and Thursdays when I have a stream. When I go there on Tuesday, I don't have any hurry to get back at 8 o'clock. There's no time clock here at Mokuhankan. I don't have to suddenly get back by 8 o'clock. So on Monday, in order to service you guys properly, I will have no bath recently. And on Tuesday and Wednesday, I can have a bath. So I guess that's what it's going to have to be. So what you will see when you see me on streams is you will always see a David who hasn't had a bath that morning. I will have washed my hair. It's washed again this morning too, but I will not have had a bath. A sacrifice for Twitch. Someone says, start the stream. John says, start the stream at 8:10 over my dead body. Is the pool lady still there? Yes, she's still there. She's still there. She's doing really well. She's doing well. There's very, very, very few days. I mean, more. It doesn't happen anymore. I can't catch her. We've talked about this. She passes me 3 times or twice or once. And about a year ago or so, I was doing really well, and she was maybe a little bit lazy, and she wasn't passing me sometimes. Typically now she passes me twice. If I'm a bit tired or something, she'll pass me 3 times. If she's super energetic, she'll pass me more. But I can't remember now the last time where she didn't pass me. I think I'm getting a bit older, I don't know. And also too, because I'm not there on such a tight schedule anymore. Because I'm going to Ome now quite frequently. Last week I went to Ome 1 day. Some days I'm out in Ome 2 or 3 days. So I'm no longer on the complete 5-day-a-week schedule. And in the next course, she and I were in lane 3. She and I are in lane 3. It's just the two of us. Nobody bothers us. Maybe once I'm gone, somebody else will jump in. But for the first half hour, the first 25 minutes, lane 3 is Dave and this other lady. We've got our routine. Lane 4 is faster. We've talked about this before. There's a young girl who's come. She's super fast. She's like a training swimming to be Olympics or something. I don't have any idea. She just goes in there and screams it back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Not very friendly. Nobody really likes her. She's really disruptive. And man, she makes waves. I'm in lane 3, she's in lane 4. And of course, we're going back and forth random patterns. But every now and then, I'm coming on the right-hand side of my lane. She's on the right-hand side. So she comes right past me, zooming. And what's the thing called? You know, there's a thing that floats, the lane divider. She's so noisy and thrashing and powerful, the lane divider pushes across. So I'm swimming, 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 and I'll put my hand down and it will hit the lane divider because she's pushed the divider over into my side. And I've scratched my fingers a couple of times on this. Oh, I hear sound from downstairs. It must be Sadako. Soka, Saturday 9:10. Yes, yes, yes. Good morning. Yes, ma'am. It's a glue day. I say hello. Here we are. Look at you. Wait. I'm close. Let me go back. That happened before. You were too far away. There's our actual height difference. We're side by side now. Don't cheat. The thing is, if you stand back there, and if I stand up here, look at this now. Okay, she brought lunch. She's bringing lunch quite often on the weekends. She's brought sandwiches, yogurt and stuff. She's putting it in the fridge in the next room, so. Now I'm in trouble. Did I do this one? I can't tell after you've waited a few minutes. No, it's not done. Yeah, buddy, I knew it would happen this morning. People are asking, where's the video cutting the slots? I know. So we just got going on this, but when we were nearly finished it, we were on the last step. What were we doing? Sanding. And she said, oh my God, we forgot the video. And I'm like, well, we've come to the end here. There's nothing we can do now. And she says, let's just take a video of the last step. It's okay, you know. And I'm like, no, it doesn't matter. We'll catch it next time.
So next time I won't forget.
Well, is that a promise? Really?
Yes.
Okay, okay. You heard her. I said the girl in the next lane, Olympic. No, there's no way. She's not obviously professional because her technique, I mean, I'm not a swimmer, but we can see her technique is astonishingly wasteful of energy. So I'm sure she's not actually an up-and-coming swimmer. She's just simply young and energetic. A couple of things even I can tell. There's so much splashing. When she goes by, that super fast lady, so much water cascades out into the neighboring. Sometimes I bang my hand on the rope, and sometimes if it's just the wrong time, I'm going, and I get a mouthful of spray. Her hand has splashed and sent up such a huge spray. I get a mouthful of water and sort of choke for a minute there. So no, it's obvious the young lady is extremely energetic. She wants a lot of exercise. Well, it's the same thing about me, eh? I have no technique. From somebody else's point of view, this dude is just splashing and hacking his way down the pool. So I'm not trying to insult her. Just if I described it wrongly. And she's just so determined. Nobody can get in the way. Boom, 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 boom. But to continue the story, me in lane 3 with the lady who is faster than me. She's half my age or something, so it's okay. In lane 4, this super fast young lady, there's a guy, Omo-san. We've talked about him before. Ondomo, Omo-san is his name. He's the guy that makes those electronic musical instruments. We've linked to them before here. Ondomo, what's his website? Ondomo, ondomo.com or ondomo.net or something. He makes electronic instruments, and he has now recently, the last year or so, he's been going to the pool. He does a kilometer, same as me. I usually get there first. He comes in a few minutes later, so I leave early. And we're about the same speed. I'm 73, he must be 60-something. He and I are, maybe he's a bit faster than me because he's much more muscular. So I'm with my partner, she goes faster, and he's swimming in lane 4 with this dude, this lady who just wastes everybody. So the other day, we're in the shower room. I've come out, and a couple of minutes later, he comes out, and we look at each other. And I said something, this is all backwards. You and me, strong, powerful men, and we're getting wasted by these two women who keep passing us. And I said, my excuse is that in my case, in lane 3, she's going to be half my age, you know. So I'm laughing at him. What's your excuse? His excuse is, she's 1/3 my age. You know? So it's okay, it's okay. Did I talk to them about the harpsichord parts? I did not. I didn't even think about that. Those harpsichord parts, I showed you that day. I put them back in the box, put them on the shelf. I haven't even remembered until the minute you mention this right now. I should do that. I should bring them to Asakusa. Or not. Go and show him. Or not. Yeah. I didn't even think about that. Thank you. $9.14. Whoa. You're talking about burning calories, you know, there's that background to this. You know, we did talk about this before on an earlier stream. When I'm finished my kilometer, I'm a bit surprised myself. I get up out of the pool, and I stand up at the edge of the pool after doing my kilometer. And I'm not panting or anything. I've done a kilometer. Boom, 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 boom. Get to the end, take my goggles off, stand up, and head for the showers. I'm not tired or anything at all. Just walk, just as though I didn't do anything. Same as walking down the street, swimming a kilometer. So then somebody said the same thing, well, if that's the case, then this is not good exercise for you. You're not losing weight, you're not burning calories, you're not doing anything. And my goal isn't really to lose weight or to build muscles. My goal is just to keep my body just working. You know, I'm 73 years old, and I think doing a kilometer each day, even though it doesn't exhaust me, I think it's a good thing. It's a good thing to do. The goal isn't building anything. The goal is staying alive and making it so that when I'm 83, I will not be, you know, I will not be decrepit, you know. So the goal really for me is just maintenance, I think. Just maintenance. I think I'm whatever, I'm proud of this, whatever. I'm 73 years old, I can swim a kilometer and stand up and nobody can even tell my heartbeat has changed, you know. I think that's okay. I think that's okay. Nothing wrong with that. But the girl next door in lane 4, she must be burning calories like crazy. The glue is warmed. It is at 50, it should be, unless I've misset. Yes, it's at 50 degrees centigrade, the glue, if the thermometer is accurate. The thing you hear, this is an electrically powered device, and it's meant to be used. I bought it at a restaurant supply store over on Kappabashi. Here you can see it. It's a double, actually. It's a big unit, and when I bought it in a 1-2 setup. You can buy 1, 2, 3, 4. You can buy 1, 2, 3, 4 long one. You can get different options for different kinds of soup or different kinds of food. It's meant to be used in a restaurant situation, a buffet situation. So this is not authorized use, but it keeps the glue warm just fine. And the dial, does it go to 11? How much does the dial go? It goes 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, and 110. What's this? The dial goes up to 110 centigrade. We should try it one day. Burn the place down. What good is a restaurant warmer that goes to 110 degrees? They're trying to heat the building. It goes to 11, literally. I didn't. I'm not making this up. It starts at 30. There's an off switch, and then the first number's at 30. 30, 40, 50 is where it is now. 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, and 110. It literally goes to 11. I couldn't make this up. I wonder, the guys in the factory who made it, did they do that on purpose, really? You got to be careful. If you make a consumer product to sell into the market that actually goes to 110, and people will try this and burn the place down. I could never have made that up. Never, never, never. It's not a gas unit, it's an electric unit. It's a double boiler. My glue is here, and below it there's water, of course. So this is this is sitting in a bath. The bottom of the thing is just water with an electric thing hidden below it. So I can't see the heating unit at all. That's hidden in the structure. It heats the water that's the base of this thing, and then the food compartments float. They don't float, they sit in the water. And actually, if they're empty, they do float, but with glue in it, it doesn't float. So putting it to 110, I mean, there's no steam. There's no steam. This is not a steam heater. this thing with liquid in it is sitting in a bath of liquid. No steam. It's what's it called, a double boiler, to show. Oh, Soka. Hi, sorry about that. Is it the wire pulling it? Come in. Yeah, it's the wire. Sorry about that. Somebody should have done some capital letters. Shout at me a bit. Maybe you did. We need a bit more liquid in there. It's getting too low. When I made this size this morning, I made 3 liters. I put 2 liters into there because if I fill too much in there, the brush gets soggy. So I put 2 liters in, and then the other liter in the backup here. But it's now getting low. I have no idea. Did I do this one? Maybe not. Okay, we're way behind schedule now. 9:20. Look at this, and I'm still brushing. What has gone wrong? Why is it taking so long today? I thought I'd kept it up. Even though I've been talking, I thought I'd been doing it. Is it the pool story? Did I screw up? I'm sorry. Nanda. Still too much. I think basically the problem is this is twice as much paper as I usually use, you know. Yeah, we have enough hangers, yes. There's about 40 hangers there, 39 or 40 hangers, so that's not a problem. We're going to need 30 hangers, and there's enough there. We've been in this situation before. I've done, of course, every couple of months I do sizing for great wave prints. Maybe just simply recently, I haven't been doing it on stream, so, you know. The ends, I'm tending to get a bit too much at the ends. It's where I hit, and it's where I hit on the other side. So definitely the ends have got a bit too much size. It's okay. Look at this 9:30. So what's the plan here? What should we do? And what I'm going to do, of course, is already determined. I'm going to keep doing this. We've got about 10, 11, 12 more sheets here. I will panic and take them into the next room and hang them up. Should we just keep the stream running? I don't know. I have no choice here. I have to keep the work up. I have to just keep going. There's no rule that says streams have to be 90 minutes long, I guess. We'll just keep it running, I guess. Those of you who want to go can go. Those of you who want to hang around can hang around, I guess. I thought I had a chance, you know. That's why I did the cooking for the size. I did the cooking earlier this morning, about 7 o'clock. So I had the liquid ready by the time the stream started at 8. You know, sometimes I go over there and I cook it up. Today I thought we might be a bit tight, so I cooked it in advance. What's the latest number for the Great Wave waiting list? I don't know. People coming on to the list now honestly have no hope. They have no hope. It's abandon hope, all ye who enter here. If you're coming onto the list now, I really should just turn it off. Honestly speaking, I should turn it off. Let's look at the number, just to shock everybody, whatever. Where's the number? I should simply turn this off. Where are we? It takes a second to find this here. Database. Come on, database. Great Wave print waiting list. So I'm sorry, I really should turn it off because there's no way it's going to happen. People are thinking they can maybe get one. We get emails, you know, someone came on the list like a week ago or something. This will happen. Somebody came on the waiting list a week ago. Then he'll write to Naomi and say, oh no, it's my dad's birthday in 2 weeks. Do you think I have a chance? Just like, ow! So the next question, now that I've shown you that number, everybody wants to know, where are they? Are they near the top? Do they have a chance to get this? I don't know what to do. A couple of years back we did that. We sent a mailing out with everybody's number in it, and it led to nothing but trouble. Nothing but trouble, because it coincided with the time when we were slowing down in getting them out. And we had previously told people 60 copies every 6 weeks, blah, 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 blah. We then sent out an email showing people what their numbers were. People did the math, and they haven't got it. So we're not going to do that again, because our production is not stable enough to make a prediction. Jihadi-san is going to do this next week. And then it's going to be a couple of months before she can do it again, because subscription prints are the priority. Outsource the printing to other countries, yeah, right. How messy is this sizing sauce when it dries out on the bench? Not at all. I know, not at all. Nothing. I know. Nothing. There's so little glue here. Done. Clean. Nothing. Was this the original size? Yes, our version of the Great Wave is as close as we can get it, the original size. And I'm not sure, given millimeters, 1 or 2 millimeters off, because the copies that are in the museums are on old paper in a different humidity from when they were made, perhaps. So it's almost impossible to tell to the millimeter exactly how big the original print was. But we are very close. We've made ours at quote unquote original size. One, two, three sheets left. It's hard to tell. One sec. If we got our hands on the original blocks, there are no such thing as the original blocks. They were worn to a frazzle. They were worn long past the point they were usable. They would have then gone into the stove to help heat the workshop. There are no original blocks for the Great Wave left. You saw the story, we talked about this in the last stream when I was in Ome. A group of wood blocks from Hokusai's era has been saved in the Boston Museum of Fine Arts. And that would only have been possible because the Westerner who was over there who bought them, so the publisher would have been willing to sell them because there must have been no interest in the book anymore at that time. Okay, here we go. That's it, 60 sheets, front and back. I've lost my plastic bag for the brush. Somebody has swiped it. Don't get upset. Okay. All right. Panic time. It's 9:36. I got to do my work, so we'll keep the stream up and running. Those of you who need to go and off to work or bed, whatever, thank you very much. Those of you who want to hang around, just please hang around. So the stream is going to last at least another half hour. Let's go. I have to... How do I do this? Camera. Main camera first. So the main camera will go off for a moment here. The rest will stay on. The audio should stay. Has gone down, and I will move it into the next room. Somebody put the name on the waiting list. Is that a joker or what? Eternal optimism. Maybe it's not somebody watching this stream, so I can just see the guy turning. Hey, I just put my name on the waiting list for Dave's print. You know, what do you think? Get it in a few weeks, maybe? Okay, plug in. Or maybe I'm just evil. I like watching people suffer. I don't know. Okay, camera is now ready. Next step, power off the computer. Make sure we're not tangled up in a cord. We are tangled up. Okay, move the computer through to the next room. All the cords are out. Here we go. Say goodbye to this room. Oh, remind me too, we have to talk about that soon. Murata-san wants 20 more kilograms. So next time we're up here, we're going to be wrapping 20 kilograms of fiber to send to Murata-san. She wants to start in February. Main camera should now be coming back. There we go. Chat settings. I need to increase the size of the type on the chat. Height. Now let's go and get the paper. Cables everywhere. Okay, did we make it? All right, zoom in, zoom out. What's the best way to do this? Here's the paper. We're going up there. Are we good to go? It's all face down. Do I need to explain this? I guess there must be new people here who haven't seen this before. The 60 sheets are all face down. You saw me flip one. I've now taken a pair. We have clippers. I don't need 3 clips for this. We can just do with 2. Wider paper, we use all 3. And we now have 2 sheets of paper back to back. It's not really necessary at the level of glue that we're dealing with. The reason they're back to back is in case they got stuck together a bit, we wouldn't be damaging the front surface of the paper. But as we said, they really don't stick to each other that much. And here we go. You're going to see this now 30 times. Not much of interest, I'm sorry. Up we go. Questions? Someone's asking about past chibi prints. To date, we have never reissued older chibis. It's a question on the table. Many people, a bunch of people do ask us about this. Up to now, we have never done this. We do go back one group. Somebody who got the winter one because they had joined in the autumn, we will go back up and let them get the summer one because of the pair. So if that's your situation, if you've got only half of a pair, of course, write to us and we'll take care of you. But as far as going back last year, the year before, we haven't made a corporate decision on that yet. We're trying to balance inclusiveness and exclusiveness. People who want to feel like they got something special that nobody else has. We normally don't do that, but Patreon is a bit of a different situation. Yeah, if you're missing one of a pair, write to us. Just write. Either write through the Patreon website or just write to us. Nami-san will take care of it. Is somebody doing some math on the waiting list? Should I maybe not have talked about it? I don't know. I don't know. Success, success. When it rains, it pours. Where were all those people the years I was having trouble paying my mortgage? How many printers work for Mokuhankan? I don't know how to answer that question. I'm not being coy. I'll go through the list with you, but I'm not sure how to exactly answer it because it's flexible and it's changing now all the time. Let me just go through the list of people who now are doing printing for us. Whatever, number one on the list is me. I am now a Mokuhankan printer. I did the first one in this year's series, and I'm going to be doing the first 240 copies of the second one. I start printing Monday morning. So Dave is now nearly a full-time printer for Mokuhankan. In the room where I work there, you've seen, sitting behind me is Ishikawa-san. She's a housewife lady. She comes here 2 days a week, sometimes 3, usually 2 days a week, to do printing. She's not a Kubota-style production printer. She's a lady doing a very careful, very nice job on a sort of small scale. She will do a batch of 60 prints, fairly small prints, and it'll take her a few weeks to do it. So she's in the printing staff, but nowhere near as productive as, you know, a full-time professional printer. Sitting next to her is Rei-chan, who's been with us now for 7 or 8 years, a young lady. Young meaning whatever, young lady. She is quite productive. She's very, very, very careful, not fast, but she works really, really hard, long hours, and makes a bunch of prints. She will be off her job now for the next year. She's going to be here for the next few months until her body says, can't do this anymore, and away she goes. And we will lose her for, we don't know, 1 year, 2 years, we're not really sure. Sitting on the other side of the room across from her is Ayumi-san, Ayumi Ohashi, formerly Ayumi Miyashita. You've seen her in lots of our previous videos. She has 2 preschool children, and she's here sometimes 1 day a week and sometimes 2 days a week, almost never more than that. She doesn't want to work at home, can't work at home. The family setup there doesn't allow it. That's it for the in-house printers here at Mokuhankan. That's all we've got. Then another employee of ours, Kawai Atsushi, he works at home out in Chiba Prefecture. And he's full-time. He's well, no, he's not a contracted full-time employee, but he's full-time as a printer. We send blocks of paper. He sends back the work. That's it for the Mokuhankan staff people. Then in addition to this, There are outside printers, people who are not Mokuhankan employees, but people who we send prints and blocks. They send back paper, prints. We send paper and blocks. They send back prints and an invoice. That's Kubota-san, who works basically full-time just for us, wouldn't dream of working for anybody else. And Chiharu-san, Kawai Chiharu in Nagano, who's going to do this print. Same thing. He's fully busy with us, wouldn't ever consider anymore working for anybody else. In addition to that, we have one outside worker, Mitamura-san. He's in the Kumei, the local guild of printers. He does some work for us on small scale prints. We can do postcard size prints and stuff like that. He is busy with other projects too, so he only does maybe one job for us each month. That's it. That's all we have. And we are struggling mightily. Kubota-san, in the middle of that I mentioned, he's clearly our #1 productive workhorse. He's now 77 years old. It's Mokuhankan's biggest existential crisis. It's all because I didn't do my job carefully over the past few years. My job meaning getting a new batch of printers trained. I've completely failed in that job. And it could kill our entire business, my failure. Yeah, the printers we've got here, those ladies I mentioned, Ishikawa-san, Rei-chan, Ayumi-san, we've trained them. So it's not that I have never done that. But what I should have done was started another group or another batch 3, 4, 5 years ago. What would have been the perfect is at the beginning of the pandemic, when we didn't have a shop, when we had tons of time on our hands, when people were out of work, that's when I should have done it. I didn't know. It was the end of the freaking world. I can start hiring people. In comes the pandemic. All the tourists are gone. Close the door. Start hiring, Dave. Yeah, right. But in retrospect, that's exactly what I should have done. This paper is sized for a certain print. The target here, this is going to be used to make a bunch of our great waves. So the paper thickness, I've chosen the correct type of paper that will do this kind of work. I've kept the sizing a little bit light. I didn't flood the paper with the glue. This print will be made of clean, sharp colors. There will not be many overlays of color. In fact, there's only 1 or 2 places on the print where it overlays. If we had been making a Shin Hanga type print, I would have had to make sure the paper was stronger with more glue. But because it's going to be an ukiyo-e print, just a basic level of size will be enough. Because there's very little stacking up of colors. Have I got printers on leave who will be coming back in the future? Somebody's asking. Well, yes, Ayumi-san, once her kids are in school, real school kids, then her life should be much improved, and she could come here for longer hours, I believe. Suga-san, who left a year and a half ago, she won't be coming back. Her job, elder care, is going to go on for a very, very, very long time. That's the frustrating part for me, you know. I hired ladies, women, to do this job. And there we are. Suga-san had to quit to take care of her husband's parents. Ishikawa-san is taking care of Granddad in his wheelchair. Ami-san has 2 kids. Rei-chan is now pregnant. That's what you get. That's what you get when you hire girls. The joke, it's sort of a joke, is I should have forgot about the women. I should have hired young men, encouraged them to get married, encouraged them to give their wives credit cards, and have a bunch of young men who have to work crazy all day long because their wife is at home running up debt or something. I'm joking, but that's sort of that's the scenario that we sort of needed. This is coming well. The paper looks good. It looks smooth. It's not overly flooded. It looks good. I think we've done this right. 24 pairs seem to be up there. So it should be 6 pairs left, are we? I counted right? That seems too many. Let's count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 25 up there. So there should be 5 more pairs. If I got the original counting correct with 30 sheets, there should be 5 more pairs. Six. Oh. It seems too much paper here. Did I get more than 30 sheets then? I could have screwed up my original counting this morning. It's quite possible. If it turns out there's more than we need, we just send it to Chihara-san. She can make 62 great waves instead of 60. No big difference. There's always a couple spoiled anyway, defects in the paper, or she'll splash some pigment in the wrong place. So even though I send her 60 sheets, typically we'll get whatever, 57, sometimes 58, sometimes 56. So if I've got a couple of extra sheets in there, it's no big deal. It'll help us. We don't want to go too much. We don't want to give her 70, 80, 100. We're trying to minimize wear and tear on the blocks and wear and tear on the printer. This is not an easy print to make. So have we been counting? How many then? Is this 30, 29? What have we got? Was somebody counting? Here's the last 2 sheets. Oh, not the last 2 sheets. Looks like there's 4. Wait. 1, Hui, hui, hui. There's 4. It might be 31, is it? Did I screw up? Oh, sure. So that's why we ran a half an hour extra, because it had one more extra sheet of paper. Is it somebody counting? Is this it? Give up counting. Let's put this up and count them. Yo. Here, you count them. I can't see them. 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, let me get a bit closer. I really can't see them. One sec. We might have 30, we might have 31. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 31. There's 31. We do have too many. Look at that. My apologies. Quality control at work. And the next final step is we are going to put on the humidifier. We have here at the bottom, we have a humidifier. It's not a massive operation. Simply it throws a mist into the booth there. The purpose of the humidifier is to stop them from drying out too quickly. We want them to dry, and later on during the morning I will come up and turn off the humidifier. But the purpose of this is to make sure they don't dry too quickly. Okay, I think that will do it. Thank you very much, gang. I'm sorry it's gone over time. It doesn't much matter. It's now 10 o'clock. 2-hour stream. Good go. I'll be back again on Monday morning. And the current prediction is that I will be carving something special on Monday morning. I'm not quite sure. Could be carving, could be printing. I don't know. We'll talk about it when we get there. It doesn't much matter. All right. Thank you very much for your friendship, for your cooperation, and for hanging around. Okay. Shutting down now. I got to get downstairs to help with the shop. See you in a couple more days. Thank you very much. Thanks to the mods for the endless answering the same questions over and over and over again as the newbies come in. Welcome to those newbies. Okay, see you later. 3, 2, 1, down we go.